I have insulted Your Honor long enough. Tell everyone why this is the best Karate Kid movie.
In short, 2 words, Terry Silver. Firstly, this movie teaches the most important lesson of all, which is violence can only be overcome with better violence. That's the only way things work. There's no diplomacy. There's no, we're going to figure this out. You have to be better at violence than the other guy, and that's the only way it's going to work. Secondly, this movie gets hated on because the stakes from 2 drop so low where, again, Daniel's fighting for his life in 2 against Chosen. Now he's defending a tournament title that his mentor constantly belittles through the course of this movie to him as far as the importance of its meaning in his life.
Yeah.
Here again, Miyagi, right? Okay, I get why he wouldn't want to do it. After the first 2 assaults, you maybe think he wants to step in and help. Since we've seen this before once, Mr. Miyagi, and you kind of know where this goes, you know the kid needs to. No, you're going to let him be a punching bag continually the whole time? That's cool. That's fine. Yeah. John Kreese, okay, so I'll give you some personal context, right? I hadn't seen this movie in years. I think I only watched it once, like on like TV in like 1995 or some shit, right? So that's 2007. I'd just gone through a really bad breakup and whatever, and I'm just channel surfing. And the Disney Channel, of all things, is playing this movie.
Nice.
And I'm like, hot damn, Karate Kid 3, I'm not doing anything. Screw it, let's put it on. And I didn't remember a whole lot. So I get to the part where Terry Silver reveals the whole ruse to Daniel at the dojo, and Kreese jumps out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I didn't even know he was around. This is great. Because it was like watching Monday Night Raw and somebody shows up that you didn't expect, and it was
Oh
like,
my
fantastic.
God, X-Pac is back.
Not X-Pac, but somebody fantastic, yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, Sean. Not Comer Waldman. But yeah, that part jumped out. Again, it's so simple and stupid, but it's so great. That's what makes it great, and people don't get. It's that this idiot who got full of himself is not the badass he thinks he is, because there's always somebody better than you along the way. Then his idiot mentor, who is always teaching him the way, and he basically just allows this idiot to get humbled along the way, and until it reaches a point where he's like, all right, this is no longer about humbling. They're really trying to hurt him. I have to step in now. Which, thanks a lot, Mr. Miyagi. That could have been solved 2 ribs ago, or an attempted murder in the tide rising situation, getting the tree out situation.
Yeah.
Secondly, we have this signature, but we have no notaries present, which is fantastic. There's nothing to verify that this is Daniel LaRusso's signature. That's
tell
just
me
a
the story
notary.
of how this.
Why didn't he just forge it and throw it in?
I think I signed it cliffside with a gentle misting of the sea.
Yeah. Again, why didn't they just forge his signature and send it in? Like, we have to do this.
This would have been a much better movie had they did that and they like kidnapped him and he wakes up in the All Valley tournament. Here,
but
put
this movie
on.
But this movie's ultimately about friendship, is what it is. Because when you see a guy who you owe your life to, and he's down on his luck, he's about to give up, and you say, hell no, you're not giving up. You're going to Tahiti. That's a friend. That's a brother, okay? That's somebody who loves you and wants what's best for you. So he sends you to Kimona and all these girls in Tahiti and says, I know, I know. And dumps his nuclear sludge in a country nobody cares about. Like, who gives a shit about Borneo, honestly? Would we miss it if it was gone? No, I wouldn't. Then on top of that, he takes this little punk who ruined his friend's business by being such a little upstart prick. And guess what he does? He mind fucks this guy 18 ways from Sunday, using his karate, which is superior. He's not using that pussy Miyagi-Do shit. He's doing Tang Soo Do. That's man's karate. You know who does Tang Soo Do? Chuck Norris does Tang Soo Do. That's a man's karate, let me tell you. Okay? And then he finds somebody who is willing to do what it takes to win at all costs, which is really what it's all about. If you're going to make the effort to win, you do what you got to do. Nobody gives a shit if grandma's sick, Nobody gives a shit if your ankle hurts, you got a cold. You go out there and you put it all on the line, whether it's on the field or off. And guess what? Mike Barnes was that guy for the most part. And then we get this idiot who thinks he's invincible while hurting every day. Tell me how that math works out. I guess that's the Jersey public school system for you. That's all I can think of. So guess what? You know what he learned? Pain in every part of his body and fear in every part of his mind. And you know what? At the end of it, he was thanking him for it. So you have the greatest mind of all time, Terry Silver. You have the hammer in Mike Barnes, who unfortunately just wasn't up to the task. And they get foiled by this smug little prick from Okinawa putting these ideas into this kid's head who's so full of himself at this point that he thinks he's unstoppable. Mike Barnes fights like 7 other guys that day. Daniel has to fight 1, and it's just Mike, who's already probably tired and winded. Let me tell you about the load of bullshit around. This is the Mid-South Coliseum in May 9th, 1988, when Kurt Hennig brought his world championship to Memphis and had defended against Jerry Lawler in Memphis, Tennessee, with damn Jackie Fargo as the fucking referee. This is collusion. This is bullshit. This is a good man on a mission, an American hero from Nam, okay? Born in the USA, and yet they spit on him when he came back. Called him baby killer and all kinds of vile crap. And yet,
Wrong movie.
This foreigner from another land who got all these praise as a big war hero gets all this, but the guy from America, defending America, doesn't get shit. He gets spit on, can't hold a job, parking cars. That thing is over.
Thanks, John.
And he fights for everything he's got. He built himself an empire, but he tries to still help the little guy, his friend, who he hasn't forgotten about. And this piece of shit from Newark, one of the worst cities in America, and his little fucking friend here, who, do we ever confirm his immigration status? Let's be fair, okay? We don't know if he's here legally. He's working as a handyman off the books in an apartment complex. When he gets let go, he's not getting unemployment. So was his employment really legal? We don't know. We're getting fed a bunch of lies here, okay? And what it is really Terry Silver is trying to protect the good old US of A from these damn foreign interests coming in and trying to take everything away. And what happens is he gets screwed by these ICE laws that allow Daniel to go to the final, and he doesn't have to respond to any of it. And it's just a crime and a shame, and it's just wrong on every level.
I screwed up. I should have done an on trial with Pat for Just Karate Kid Part 3 tonight, because that was a brilliant defense of the movie. Let me talk about my real problem with this movie, other than it's way stupid. I don't know why or when it was decided the best way to get anything out of Ralph Macchio was to feed him metric tons of cocaine. But for God's sakes, he plays this character like one giant manic episode. Like, there are scenes in this where he doesn't breathe. He's just screaming like Sam Kinison.
The 80s, you can't be so damn passive.
Now was he legitimately coked up at the time?
I don't know, but that's certainly what I got out of that performance. It's the whole fucking time he's screaming and yelling. He's running around
Pat,
the set.
Pat's down there shaking his head and laughing. Pat, once you see a performance like that, you gotta ask.
It's fair, especially in the time frame. I'll give that to you. But the thing is, it's like they told him, like, hey, remember when you played Jeremy on 8 is Enough and you were just withdrawn and quiet the whole time? Do the complete opposite. Be loud and crazy, Daniel. Yeah, it works. It's great.
And like people might be like, oh, he's being funny because he's a mental health. But no. I don't know if they know this or not, but Daniel was playing textbook Manic episode. He can't formulate a coherent thought. He's motor mouth the entire time. He's like,
he gets set off so fucking fast.
Yeah. He's,
and granted, like,
my favorite thing is him running around the room in a circle going, everything is my fault.
That at least makes sense when it comes to that, because he acknowledges in that moment, he's acknowledging, I pushed Mr. Miyagi away. I got into this stupid fucking beef. It really is my fault. And I feel like the walls are closing in on me. I'm not going to shit on that. I actually think that's really good acting
That
from
would
Ralph
be
Macchio in
fine
that
if the
scene.
entire tenor of his performance wasn't that from the start.
Well,
And
again,
the only reason why I'm not like completely turned off is there was a scene with him and Miyagi in the car where I actually think like they didn't do Pat Morita any fucking favors. Because his line of dialogue is ignore Danny's problems, don't comfort him in any way, in fact, mock him. And then when you're done mocking him, be flip about it and sing a silly Japanese song. And
no,
I'm
I was
watching
gonna
this going. I'm watching this going like they have to know how bad this makes fucking Miyagi look, right?
no, the worst thing he does in that to Daniel
Mm-hmm.
is they acknowledge he's not going to train him, whatever. Daniel knows that, whatever. He's not going to break his chops out. But he asks him, I just one favor, please, as if the kid didn't just give up his college fund to fund this guy's bonsai shop.
Right.
Can you just please teach me how to sweep? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Pat Morita shows up instead of Mr.
Yep.
Miyagi and does prop comedy where he takes the broom out and show.
Right. It
You
really telegraphed
completely
it with the fake
belittled.
mustache and the top hat.
You completely just belittled everything
Yeah.
this fucking kid is going through
You know
right
what?
now.
Somehow, when I think of Karate Kid Part 3, that is the moment, the only moment in that movie that I dependably remember every single time is that stupid fucking sweep joke.
It's fucked up because again, the kid just gave up everything he had for his future, his college savings, to invest in this store because he believes in you, and he doesn't want you to get screwed on your retirement because you just lost your job. That's probably off the books, and you don't have a 401k through it. Well, that's another discussion. But nonetheless, he believes in you. He sees you as a family. He's in this with you 100%. He's asking you for one thing. He doesn't want you to train, whatever. Show him this one technique, please. And you just mock him. Not just mock him, but mock him in front of his love interest on top of that at this point.
Let me say this, and then I'm going to
What
turn
a
because
dick.
we are running up on 2 hours here, and I really do want to end shortly.
Piece
So
of
I want
shit.
Sean to have his say on 3. But this is Elizabeth Berkley Saved by the Bell Adderall performance. Like Ralph Macchio is a better actor than that. They did him no favors. His performance is just god fucking awful, and everything about this movie. And it's amazing it was made by the same people. Like, because normally when they make something, and my comment is usually, you don't know what made the first one work very well, so you're doing like a poor imitation of it. Except that this is everyone that worked on the first movie. I don't know how we got this. Somehow we got the porn version of the Karate Kid in this movie, and without the actual sex in it. But it is beyond awful and stupid and silly. And Ralph Macchio's performance, like I was just looking at his filmography, and he got work, but this movie did him no fucking favors. Sean?
Just God, after what Pat said, Jesus, what else do I add to that? Not since the extended cut of Return of the King. My God, that was. I've almost got nothing. Okay, on an earnest level, I will say this: the reason why the Rocky sequels kept working was they kept coming up with at least plausible reasons to get Rocky back in the ring to fight after he swears that he's got nothing left to prove, he's got nothing left to accomplish. He just wants to live, just wants to go forth and enjoy the fruits of his labors. But it's always something else. In this one, after you have just fought for your life in an impromptu kumite on Okinawa, what in the world do you care about defending the under 18 All Valley Karate Championship?
Because there's a new rule.
What the fuck? Who the fuck cares about the damn karate? You just saved your own life.
It would be like I played high school football, got sent to war, depending on which decade this is, came back and decided, well, A, I'm over 18 now. B, the most important thing is to play in the high school championship game.
Isn't that the first 10 minutes of the Rock Shitty Walking Tall remake?
This is like if Michael Jordan all of a sudden declared that the 6 NBA championships and multiple Olympic gold medals just don't mean shit because his team came in third in the Goat Cooter, Missouri Park and Rec League summer tournament. That's what this boils down to. There are no stakes, and you can tell that nobody who's in this legitimately believes there's any stakes, because all that Thomas Ian Griffith and Martin Cove have to do is just show up and just be fucking cartoony as hell.
Hey, you learn things. Honor, hard work.
Would it not have
Fair
made
play.
more sense for them to turn on him at the tournament instead of weeks before, where he has enough time to shake it off and train properly, which is what happened?
Oh, absolutely. But even the reason that doesn't work is because in the first you've got Martin Cove, who's playing this absolutely over the top, bombastic, ruthless villain, but it's set against the contrast of very grounded, relatable people that we've invested in for the entire movie. In this one, you just have Martin Cove, Thomas Ian Griffith, and whoever it was that played Mike Barnes.
Sean Kanan.
Sean Gann, thank you. Just being absolutely pants on fucking head manners up against week-long coat jag Ralph Macchio. And I really, really just want to go home, Pat Morita. And Robin Lively, look, if one more fucking person calls me Ione Skye, I swear to God.
Okay, that's everybody who's never seen Teen Witch. And if you've never seen Teen Witch, fuck off.
I have seen
That's
Teen Witch,
cinema at
I'm
its
with you.
finest.
Okay.
But I will give Pat this in terms of absolutely asinine teen sports movies that you can still have a good time watching, despite the fact that things are going off the rails. Yeah, even I have to admit, Karate Kid Part 3 has to be right near the top of the list.
Also, I would be remiss without saying this because somebody we haven't talked about the whole time, but is kind of a pivotal character. Randy Heller as Lucille LaRusso, the mother. What a fucking shitty, awful actress. I have never seen her in anything where she is not terrible, and she is fucking unbearable in any part of this. Specifically, more than anything, the first one. Like,
she's got like bad sitcom mom vibes.
that's
I was
why
gonna
she
say
did a fucking job on him.
I was gonna say bad teen slasher movie, Mom.
Yeah. Either way,
she's fucking terrible.